Welcome to Math Machine. Math Machine is a visual way for students to learn addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, and place value. There are two options here. You can just demo and watch the game, or you can practice where you actually have to enter answers. Let's start off with a practice, and let's start off with addition. So this game utilizes wheels, and I realized in the classroom that students are really motivated by having the opportunity to spin wheels, especially when random numbers come up. So watch what happens. I click spin. And it lands on 30. So you see we have three tens blocks here. This is the visual part. So the first, I guess you'd say the first number in our problem is 30. 30 plus, so let's spin again. And so we have 30 plus 11. So you see there's 30 here and there's 11 here, and students have to figure out the answer. And this is a good way to visually see how addition works, because they can simply count up all the blocks and get to 41, click check. And as you see, it says correct. And they can try another by clicking here. And you'd be surprised at how much more students love doing these kind of problems when they have some stake in determining the numbers that come up in the problems. And they will go to each other's computers and they'll say, look at what I spun. And in reality, it's just doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, or place value. But for the students, it's visual. And they're a little bit empowered because they're determining the numbers. So let's reload and let's try another. Okay, so that's how addition works. Let's see how you can imagine how subtraction works, but how about multiplication? So let's do the practice. And again, with the demo version, it's all the same except they don't have to enter answers. So if I go to practice, and you see it only goes from 1 to 12 here. So they spin. And the first wheel lands on a 7. And watch the visual part. We're going to spin the second wheel. And the second wheel lands on, looks like 6. And you see right here, they can see we have 7 times 6, or 6 groups of 7. And they can count them all up. Understand that the answer is 42. And again, they're correct. And so there's no set number of problems that students have to do in this application. They can just keep clicking try another. Let's try one more for multiplication. Here we spin. And we get to 11 this time. 11 times how many is the question. Spin the second wheel. Looks like it's 11 times 8. And you see we have 8 groups of 11. They can count them up individually if they want. Hopefully this will show them how multiplication works and what it really means. Click check. Correct. And let's reload again. And let's show you how division works. I want to show you division and fractions. Division is pretty neat, I think. Let's practice that. It looks the same as multiplication, so you spin, except you have, as you see, larger numbers. So the first number is 60. The second wheel shows only numbers that divide equally into 60. So spin the second wheel. And we have 60 divided by 2, or 60 broken up into 2 groups. As you see right here, 60 is broken up into 2 groups. And 60 divided by 2 is 30. Students count the number in each group, they'll get 30. That's correct. Let's try one more. And this time we get 48. And we'll spin this one. Let's see how many groups 48 is going to be broken up into. 4 groups. And so you have 48 here broken up into 4 different groups. Students count the number in each group. They get 12. Click check. Correct. And they can keep doing these as many times as they need. But again, hopefully visually they're starting to understand these operations. I want to show you fractions, and then we'll be done. I'm not going to show subtraction or place value. You can just check those out on your own. So let's do fractions. Practice. And click spin. This is the denominator wheel. And so we landed on 16. And so the fraction is now broken up into 16 groups. Click spin the second wheel. And this lands on, looks like 5. And so you see 5/16 of the fraction is lit up. So you type 5/16, check. Let me get it correct. So let's try another. This time, 12. And you see now my fraction is broken up into 12 parts, 12 equal parts. I spin the second wheel, and we land on 3. And so 3/12, the system will accept 3/12. And I believe right now it accepts 1/4 also, which is reduced. Correct. It'll also accept 3/12, so if you haven't gotten to reduce it. So anyway, this is the Math Machine. And I encourage you to give this a try for whatever operation you're practicing in the classroom. I think you'll be surprised at how motivating these wheels are for students. Let me know what you think.